4 years old when I was first introduced to the system. My brother, he passed away just before his birthday, so he was 1 year old. He kind of passed away in a car accident with his father, my auntie, and my 2 cousins were in the car accident as well, but they survived. My mum kind of spiraled. She went downhill. Instead of, loving the kids that she's got and pulling them close, she kind of pushed me away. So she used to say, I wish it was you instead of him. Made me think, I tried to kill myself a few times. Mum tried to kill herself. I got a broken nose from Mum. She broke my nose. I was pretty mistreated after that. Mum was on the drugs a lot more after that. I remember being at houses. Mum would be upstairs. She was on the needle. I remember needles laying around and full trap house. Needles everywhere, pills, whatever. There was one time I did see a bloke get murdered, and that was across the road from the park where I was at. I actually seen his face get put in the gutter and stomped on the back of his skull, and he's split his jaw straight in half, killed him. First ever time I seen someone die. I would have been about 10. I had a knife, a big Bowie knife. This bloke tried to stop me, so I pulled out this big knife. Before this, I'd already been done for something like this in Big W. Security guard stopped me, and I pulled out a knife and told him to step back, and I'd only just stole this knife, and the security guard stepped back and they let us go. We ended up getting done. I got done for armed robbery. So when I pulled this knife out, so I'd already been done for it, so I knew it was going to be armed robbery. So I'm like, fuck it, I might as well make it an armed robbery. So I'm like, I want all the fucking clothes. I want all the money out of the drawers, all that shit. They bagged up the clothes, they bagged up the money, they fucking let me walk out. Well, I wasn't thinking. I had my partner with me and her young daughter. I was on the pipe and shit like that as well. We've got out of there in this little Corolla I had. I've stopped and I threw the knife in the bin. Well, the bin that I threw it in was an empty bin. The next day, I've had armed robbery squad kick in the door, point laser lights at me head, at me missus' head, at her daughter's head. They're like, get on the fucking ground. They took me in. They're like, showed me a photo. They're like, is this you? They're like, you're under arrest for armed robbery. And I said, fucking bullshit. Prove it. So they come back out with this bag, put this knife on the desk, and they're like, is this yours? And I've looked at it and I'm like, fuck. And that was the first time I went to jail. So I'm walking into this unit, and as I got to the blind spot, all I felt was pressure, bang, the back of me back here, and then more pressure down the bottom, near my spine. Felt like I was on fire. I got stabbed twice. It actually must have hit a nerve, and I couldn't feel any of my legs. I know no matter what, I'm going to get hate. The life that I have lived, the things that I have had to do to get to where I am, to live, to be able to eat, to have somewhere to sleep. I don't want these kids growing up to be like that. They don't have to do that. There's people out there that can help. I know it doesn't seem like it, but back then, I didn't want help. I wanted to be a criminal. But as I got older, there's a lot of things in life that I can't do because of the person that I have been in the past.
Welcome back, guys, to a very, very special episode of the Tonksy Media Podcast. Today's guest, man, I'm telling you, he has a story like no other. Introduced to the welfare system in Tasmania at only 8 years old. For a few years there, he bounced from care house to care house to care house before finding himself finally locked up in the youth detention system in Tasmania, also known as the notorious Ashley's Detention Centre. There were things happened to him in that place that no child should ever have to go through or experience, period. The neglect and abandonment from his mother from such a young age, it was only inevitable for him to spiral into one of Tasmania's worst criminals. He's stabbed, he's shot at people, he's been stabbed, and he's also been shot at. This 28-year-old lad has spent a total of 12 years in the Tasmanian prison system, and now 4 years out of jail, he has pursued his dream of becoming an Australian hip-hop artist. And man, his songs are absolutely blowing up on the internet. Please give a huge warm welcome to the brother, Dylan Meares. Welcome, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Nah, definitely, bro. We did have a bit of a hiccup there a couple of weeks ago, mate. You were out at sea working on the crane boats, and we had shitty reception and that. But fuck, man, we've made it. We're here. We're fucking doing it.
Lucky. Was lucky, bro.
Yeah. Fuck, man, I haven't had trouble like this trying to fucking set up a video podcast ever. It's been so simple. And then I'll try and get you on it. Like you said.
Universe, bro.
Exactly, brother.
You didn't want me on here telling me story,
Yeah, no, that's it, bro. But we're here, we've made it, bro. So let's get stuck into it, bro. I've been really looking forward to this one. You know, I've been watching you fucking. Well, I was going to say slowly grow in the fucking hip hop scene, bro, but you fucking definitely haven't slowly done it. You've just gone boom through the roof. So
Yeah,
I've
it's
been
moving
watching you,
quite
though.
fast.
Yeah, man, it's insane. You know, like me being from Tassie as well. It's just fucking so good to see. You know, someone. You know, obviously I've been through the fucking the prison system and shit down there, bro, and you know, I know people with your profile too well, you know,
Yeah,
and
100%.
to hear it sort of come out through your music, bro, it obviously just attracted me towards you. I was like, fuck, I've got to get him on. I want to hear his, and fuck knows how we haven't really come across each other before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Hey, we're basically from
But
the same suburbs, you know.
yeah, fuck. Well, man, like as we'll get into, you're from Gagebrook there, mate. My first primary school was Herdsman's Cove, so
Yeah, true.
yeah,
I mean, like, we probably have, but my brain's
yeah,
out the roof, bro, from, you know, just life itself.
yeah,
Obviously
100%,
drugs and
bro.
that, but yeah.
But no, it is my honour to have you on, brother. Let's get stuck into what got you to where you are today, bro. Your story from start to finish. Take us back to when you were a child, bro, and you know, and give us a bit of an insight on who Dylan Meares is, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I think I was about 4 years old when I was first introduced to the system. Um, my brother, he passed away just before his birthday, so he was 1 year old. And that's kind of where it all started. So yeah, so he kind of passed away in a car accident with his father, my auntie, and my two cousins were in the car accident as well, but they survived.
Wow.
I'm not sure how they survived, but they did. But yeah, it was a pretty bad car crash. So yeah, he
Yeah.
was taken away. But before that, um, I hate to talk about it because I'm, you know, pretty good relationship with my mother. But
Yep.
so before that, I actually don't remember this, but it's documented. Obviously, I've got a stack of documents over here of my life.
Yep. Yep.
It's documented that when I was 4 years old and my brother was almost one, I think. So I was left alone at home with my younger brother. While Mum went out and, from what they say, got on the drugs.
Yeah.
So I had to look after my brother, and yeah, so that was kind of, you know, Mum used to come home and, you know, she'd be off her head and stuff like that. But so when my brother passed away, so that was the first time I got introduced to welfare. So my
Yep.
auntie or my nan came and check on me. I was there alone with my brother. I'm not sure who rang welfare, whatever, but that was the first ever time I was introduced to the system.
Yep.
I wasn't taken. I was left in Mum's care, but so everything was pretty good, you know. Even though I don't remember that, but I still remember some of the good times. You know, Mum,
Yeah. Yep.
we was always fed, whatever, bed, clothes, everything, all that stuff. You know, we had all that stuff. We'd
Yep.
always get, you know, Christmas presents, birthday presents, all that kind of shit. I actually, you know, I was loved. But when
Yep.
my
Yep.
brother passed away, I was about 5 years old, and my mum kind of spiraled. She went downhill. You know, she went downhill. Instead of, you know, loving the kids that she's got and pulling them close, you know, she kind of pushed me away. She
Yep.
didn't love me, you know what I mean? Like, she used to say, you know, I wish it was you instead of him, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Wow, bro. Yep.
And that kind of made me think, you know, I tried to kill myself a few times. Mum tried to kill herself. Yeah, I got a broken nose from Mum. She broke my nose. Yeah, so I was pretty mistreated after that, and I
Yep.
didn't
Yep.
get so much. And Mum was on the drugs a lot more after that. You know, I remember being at houses in Bridgewater, And Mum would be upstairs, you know, she was on the needle, all that kind of stuff. I remember needles laying around and, you know, just wherever. She never left the needles laying around, but the house that I was at, there was needles everywhere.
Trap house, yeah.
Yeah, full trap house, needles everywhere, pills, whatever.
Yeah.
Back when it was only old school, I only got introduced to shard when I was like 16, over here anyway. So that was the first ever time I really heard about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was kind of everywhere, house to house. You know, I was sleeping at different houses. Mum would leave me there, whatever. So one day she ended up. So my nan was trying to take me from my mum's care. Well, she did a few times, but yeah, so try and get custody of me. But my mum was pretty violent towards my nan, which is my mum's mum.
Yeah, her mum,
her mum. So she was pretty violent. So nan used to try and take me. Mum would come and take me, whatever. Then she ended up running away with us, and we went to Western Australia.
Your nan?
Me mum.
Oh, your mum, yeah, righto, yep.
Yeah, so she took us over Western Australia, and I was staying at my auntie's house, and at the time she had this boyfriend named Ben, and he was a fucking dropkick. I remember, like, I got a photographic memory. I can't remember back from, you know, maybe I've just blocked some of that stuff out. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But, like, I can remember when I was 5, you know, all the things with my brother and stuff like that, you know, when he's come in, wake me up, whatever. Yeah, so I've got a photographic memory. So we was in Western Australia anyway, and I think we was there for a few weeks. I'm not sure. I can't exactly remember. But so we was there for a few weeks. Her boyfriend was a cunt. And this one time, so I was there with Mum and her boyfriend. This one time, my auntie's boyfriend, I had a water balloon. I filled up water. Yep. And it dropped on the ground and splashed all over the floor. So he's come out and he's actually gone off his head, like full raged at us, kicked us out. Well, Mum's like, where are we going to go? Like, Mum had no money. You know, we didn't know anyone in Western Australia. Where are we going to go? And he's like, I don't care. Like, get out. My auntie, she just, like, full agreed with it. Kicked us out. Right. So we've left, and Mum's boyfriend was like, you know, he didn't get kicked out. So he was like, no, I'm not going. I'm staying here. Well, Mum's fucking raging at him, smashed him in the head with a cup, broke a cup over his head, you know, split his head open. We still stayed. Well, me and Mum, we've left, and I was actually sleeping in trolleys for about 4 days, like, and no food, just eating Easter eggs because it was around Easter time.
Yeah, wow, bro.
So we'd go to Red Dot, like things like that, and Mum would just steal heaps of Easter eggs, and like I'd be sleeping in a trolley just eating Easter eggs for dinner, breakfast, lunch, tea, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Well, we've ended up walking, so we're walking on the highways. We're trying to get to the airport. Well, this truckie pulled over, and he's actually offered us a lift. You know, thought it was nice of him, you know, to offer us a lift, whatever. Mum was pregnant at the time too. So he's given us a lift. Because Mum was pregnant, she was real sick, like spewing and stuff like that. Yeah. So she was just eating ice all the time, like always chewing on ice.
Yep.
Well, we'd stop at like shops and stuff like that. Mum didn't have no money, and this truckie would never buy me nothing to eat, like nothing. So I'm travelling in this truck for 5 days, no food, you know, wouldn't buy me nothing. So Mum raged at him, and he ended up buying me something to eat. Well, I've had something to eat, but this is 4 or 5 days after he wouldn't buy me nothing.
Yeah.
Well, we've ended up at the airport. I don't know why it took that long to get there, but it did. So we've ended up at the airport. There was a McDonald's there. I remember it. Mum's like, why don't you go up to them and, you know, say you haven't eaten for a couple of days and they might give you something to eat. So I've gone up to them and asked them, you know, I haven't eaten for a couple of days. My auntie's kicked me out. My mum's over there. She's pregnant. And I was just wondering if, like, she's got no money, if you can get me something to eat. Yeah, they brought me out a Happy Meal. They've full brought me out a Happy Meal. Give me a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
You know, I felt great. I felt fucking happiest kid alive. You know, I got a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
So we've ended up back over here, and I think I was probably about 7. Yeah, 7. I would have been, I reckon, because I
Yep.
was in welfare by age of 8. Yeah, so I reckon I would have been about 7. Got back over here. Anyway, somehow I ended up back in my nan's care. So I'm living with Nan, and by then I'd already seen heaps of shit, you know. People whacking up, people, you know, in and out the house with guns.
Yeah.
You know, stolen shit in and out the house. I'd already seen all that shit. So when I'd come back, things had changed, and there was new people in the area. You know, Gagebrook. There was new people in Gagebrook.
Yeah.
Well, what I thought had been new people because I hadn't been there for so long. But so the first time I was introduced to crime, I would have been about 8 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
Mum used to get stoned, smoke heaps of dope, and she'd get me to go into Woolworths and knock heaps of blocks of chocolates off. So I'd just knock heaps of blocks of chocolates off, like all around me, front to the back. So I'd knock heaps of chocolates off, come home. So that was when I really started like stealing. I'd steal small stuff like that. I used to go to PTYC, and I'd be down there stealing, you know, chocolates and meat pies and shit like that. So that's how I sort of got introduced to stealing shit.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, so I used to steal. After that, I used to, like, there was this guy that lived next door to Mum in Tottenham Road, Gagebrook.
Yeah, I know the road, brother.
Yeah, so he lived next door to Mum, and he had this motorbike out the back. It was a pull start one.
Oh, yeah.
So I've actually jumped the fence. I don't know how me and my cousin got it over this fence, but we got it over my fence, and so I've started up and I'm riding it around my front lawn, like full riding it around my front lawn. This bloke's looking out his window and he's like, he would have been thinking, is that my bike? Like,
Yeah.
and he would never say nothing because Mum was like a little bit schizo back then.
Yeah, don't fuck with her, like, yeah.
Yeah, so he'd never say nothing to me. So I'm riding this bike around for like 5 days. Until Mum actually asked me, like, where'd you get that bike from? And I told her, and she ended up giving it back to him. But, yeah. Fucking,
Yeah, well,
I've got
this is at the age of 7, eh?
Yeah, so 8 I would have been now.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, but...
Fucking little shit.
So, yeah, it's pretty, yeah. I think it...
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the area that I grew up in, or just...
Yeah, look quickly, for you know, I've got a lot of followers and people from around the country that don't know much about Tassie. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people from Tassie that watch this podcast too, but how would you explain Gagebrook, bro? I mean, it's like, compared to most other suburbs in we'll say southern Tassie, Hobart, you know, it's more of a lower class sort of area.
Yeah, so it's...
A lot more crime and yeah.
It's the first ever housing commission to ever, like, that was where they first started their housing commission.
Yeah, true.
So
I never knew that. Well, there you go. That says it all. Yeah.
Gagebrook was the first ever, like, experiment of housing commission.
Yeah, and now if you obviously a lot of people will recognise you too, bro, off Spanion Into the Hood.
Yeah.
Spanion walks through it, bro. You know, he talks to you a fair bit in there, and you get a bit of a look at what Gagebrook's like through that episode, I think. So
yeah, of course, it's gotten a lot worse over the years.
Yeah.
Like, it has gotten worse over the years. Like, when I was a kid, it was more. There wasn't so much shootings or stabbings or anything like that.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, so it was a lot more crime.
Sorry, man.
I'm 28. I'm 29 next month.
Yeah, righto. Yeah. So, you'd be what, 90, 95, 96?
96.
96, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Leo.
Yeah. Yeah, righto. Yeah, no, I'm 92, so I'm a little bit older. But when I was in kindergarten, it would have been when you were being born, and I was in kindergarten in Gagebrook, bro. So
yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, so there was a lot more crime back then when I was younger. It was just more cars being broken into.
Definitely, there wasn't murders and shit like there is these days, bro. It's off its fucking head.
Nah.
Shooting, drive-bys and stabbings and shit. Crazy, bro. Yeah.
There was one time I did see a bloke get murdered, and that was across the road from the park where I was at. And I actually seen his face get put in the gutter and stomped on the back of his skull, and he's split his jaw straight in half, killed him. And that was the first ever time I seen someone die.
Yeah, wow, bro. How old were you then?
Oh, I would have been about 10, I reckon.
Yeah, wow. So this is around still the same time.
Yeah. But that was the first ever time. I'd never heard of anyone shooting anyone, or not that I could remember anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, Clarenvale was worse than Gagebrook back then.
Yeah.
But now,
so Clarendon is a suburb on the eastern shore of Hobart there. Clarendon Vale, Rokeby, the similar sort of vibe to Bridgewater and Gagebrook, if you ask me. It's just on the other side of the river, eh? Oh, the same side of the river. Yeah, same side of the river, sorry.
It's basically the same. They just don't have a bridge between them.
Yeah, it's me. I'm from Claremont, bros. That's why I'm saying on the other side of the river,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's basically the same. They just don't have a bridge between them.
Yeah, but, true.
Yeah, so back then there was a lot of motorbikes stolen, push bikes. When I started actually stealing objects from people's houses was push bikes. Doing them up, spray painting them, putting the stump peaks on them, pickaxe, all that kind of stuff. I was always stealing push bikes. Sometimes girls push bikes just to ride around.
All you were hunting for is a good headset, a good 3-piece crank, and fucking oversized axles, eh?
100%, yeah. Just so everyone knows, I'm not proud of any of this stuff that I've ever done. No, so that's why I'm on trying to.
And we will get into it further on, bro, how good you're doing these days and stuff. But
yeah,
talk us through, brother. Talk us through, your experiences going into welfare, and how you think that could have shaped you, as you got on to, more into your criminal years and then into jail and stuff. Talk us through a bit of that, and your first times in juvie, and we'll go from there, bro.
No worries. So I'll tell you how I went to welfare. So as I was saying, Mum was pretty violent. She broke my nose, and she used to punch into me a lot, and all that kind of stuff. She used to, I was mistreated a lot, physically and verbally. Yeah. So that then made me turn into a monster, basically.
Yeah.
I didn't feel pain. I didn't love anyone. I didn't care for anyone. I lost my brother, and my mum treated me like shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't care about no one. Didn't care about hurting anyone's feelings.
Yeah.
So every time, every day I go to school, I'd bash someone just for the fun of it. I would hurt someone just for the fun of it.
Yeah, it was just it was embedded in you, bro.
Yeah. So before that though, before I started actually really fighting people, there was these 2 grade 6s in primary school, and they used to pick on me a lot. And I was always brought up not to let people stand over you. Don't let anyone pick on you. But I was afraid that, if I hurt these kids, then I'm going to get hurt when I go home. As much as I was kind of used to it, I was used to it, but I still felt like, I don't want to go home and get belted.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
So one day I've come home, I've had enough. I've come home, I've said to Mum, I'm sick of these kids picking on me. She's like, what are you doing letting them pick on you, rah, rah? I fucking told you. I want you to go back there tomorrow and I want you to fucking bash them. So I've kept that in my head all night. I'm thinking that all night. Woke up next morning, all right, I'm going to bash these kids today, I knew I could.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, I knew I could, but I just didn't want to. So I've gone back to school. I've seen these two kids, they were best mates. And I've walked straight up to them, banged up, went to say something, and I've just attacked them both. And I broke two kids' ribs in separate places. And I went off that bad that the whole school had to get locked down. And like that, that sirens come out, school had to get locked down. I had teachers hanging off me, and I was just flipping. Teachers hanging off me. I ended up in the principal's office, and the principal that I had, he was a fucking cunt to me. Like, I don't know if it was just because of who I was and who my mum was, like how misbehaved I was at school and stuff like that. But yeah, so he was a cunt to me, and he was a cunt to me while I was in there, and I'd had enough. I've had enough of everyone, and I've just lashed out at these kids, and I'm like, you ain't gonna speak to me like that no more. So I've actually picked up a printer, and I've hit him over the head with it, and he was knocked out cold, like he was full knocked out cold, and I actually put him in a coma. He was in a coma for like 3 days.
Wow.
So while he's knocked out cold, they've rang the cops. The school's rang the cops. So I've got the cops coming in. They've come in. They're like, get on the ground. And I'm only a little kid. I'm like, 8 years old.
Wow.
Little kid, tiny little kid. I'm only short now, tiny, little kid.
I can imagine. You would have been a little fella, yeah.
Oh, tiny. Well, I've had this cop come in, get on the ground, I wouldn't get on the ground, so he's forced me to the ground. He's got me to the ground, and I spat in his face. And he's pushed my head on the ground. He's like, what happened to the last person that spat in my face this week? And I was like, what? And he's like, I put him in hospital. So I spat in his face again. And bang, he's put handcuffs on me, and he's took me to the cop shop. Well, mum's got rang. Like, they rang mum. Mum come over there. She was all nice to me and that. But fuck, when I got home, didn't I get a hiding?
Yeah, wow.
Fucking didn't I get a hiding for
even
getting
though
locked
she
up?
was, okay, you took it too far. She said to go and give these kids a hiding, and
so
and you
that
take
was
it too far and made her look
I
fucking.
took it way too far.
Yeah,
way too far. But so that was the first time I ever got charged.
Wow.
First ever time, and I got charged for assault times 4. Oh, 4. Yeah, 4. The cop only charged me once.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
And so that's when I sort of started spiraling.
Yeah.
So I'm walking up the street one day. I used to kick holes in mum's walls after this. I was a little shit of a kid after that. But you would expect that after what I've been through.
Let's just quickly put into perspective too, you're saying all this shit that you've done, you're a cunt of a kid and, uncontrollable, this, that. But let's just rewind a bit, man. You've lost your little brother at a young age. You've been abandoned. You're not even old enough to fucking write your name even, and it's like,
100%.
just so people can really, stop and think about it, man. You're a little cunt for a reason, like.
Yeah, of course. Because I've already gone through so much stuff in my life.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. And this is just the beginning, obviously, so buckle up, cunts.
Yeah, buckle up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I started actually doing burgs after this. One day I was walking up the street and I'd already knew this group, which I'm not going to say their names, but I'd already knew this group done that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So
As we do.
I'm walking up the street one day, and I kind of knew, I don't know, I just had this feeling. There was a front door open and the window was smashed on the side.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a feeling that, you know, they were in there.
Yep.
So I've walked through this front door, walked into this house, and I've looked, and, you know, they're bagging up PlayStations, bagging up, you know, Wii's, Sony Wii's, Xboxes, all that shit. And I'm like, what are you doing, boys? And they're like, oh, fuck, went to run off. And they've seen it was me, and they're like, oh, what are you doing, Mearsy, you fucking idiot?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you need help or what? And they're like, yeah, whatever. So I started bagging up shit with them. And, yeah, so that was, like, basically my first burglary that I'd done. And I just kind of just was walking up the street, you know, and rolled in.
It was meant to happen, bro.
Yeah, it was like, it was meant to happen.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And so after that, you know, I was a decoy. I'd stand out the front, keep watch, while, you know, everyone else done their thing, and I'd get a cut out of it.
Yep.
So one day I'm standing out the front, and someone must have seen us, like, you know, climbing through this window, seen him climb through the window, and I'm out the front. Well, next minute, all these cops, I didn't even hear them pull up or see them. They all pulled up, and they're all quiet as. Next minute, they all come running through the bush, and my mates jumped out this window and, like, full jump through the window, landed on his feet, done a somersault, ran through this bush, up through the paddock. He got away. Yep. Well, I've ran straight at the cops, and they just, like, tackled me full on, like, took me into the cop shop. And I actually said that, because I had a push bike out the front, I said that I didn't know nothing about it. You know, I was out the front fixing my push bike.
Yeah.
And because the lady's house that we was at, well, she must have seen him go up the hallway, and she must have looked out the window and seen me out the front fixing my bike, making out I was fixing my bike. So I got away with that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so I got away with that. And I thought, oh, you know,
I can get away with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can get away with it. So I kept doing it. So, yeah, I kept doing it for a bit. But, so I was hanging around with them. Mum started finding out that I was hanging around with them. You know, I'd come home, I'd have money, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have marijuana. I started smoking marijuana by then. I was 8 years old. Started smoking marijuana. Mum used to smoke marijuana, you know. When she'd go to sleep, I'd be smoking her cones.
Yep.
And she'd wake up fucking skitzing.
Yep.
Well, anyway, I started being really uncontrollable, and Mum didn't want me anymore, so I wasn't actually taken by welfare. I was put in welfare by my mum. So she's rang him and said, you know, come and get him. I can't handle him anymore. So they've come and got me. I didn't know what was going on at first. They took me into the Newtown child foster place near Youth Justice. I can't remember exactly what it's called.
I know. I can't either. I know what you're talking about, though, 100%.
Yeah, so they took me in there. And the lady that was working there, her name was Donna. And she was a bitch too. She come out, and she actually said to me, like, she's like, whispered in my ear, like, you're never gonna see your mum again. So I went off my head, and I smacked her straight in the chops with a little rock, this little rock that I picked up, because I was really, really violent then, like really violent.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they pinned me to the ground. They restrained me. So I ended up settling down. They took me to this house in Huonville, and this was the first ever time I ever ate cheese toasties.
Yeah, righto. Yeah.
No shit. First ever time I ever ate cheese toasties in my life. So I liked it, you know.
Yeah.
I liked it. I was treated right.
Yeah, they took you to this house in Hillville. What was it, a foster home?
Yeah, so it wasn't a foster home, it was a rostered home. So every day at certain hours, I'd have different carers come in.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah, so I
Yep.
was rostered.
Yep.
But yeah, so that was the first ever time I had cheese toasties, and yeah, I started liking it. They were really nice to me. I had this one lady used to come. She used to buy me these mint lollies. She used to always buy me lollies,
Yeah.
and I loved it. You know, I actually felt like someone cared about me.
Yeah.
But
And
then I had
clearly,
to move.
because you've clearly got these vivid memories of it still, bro. Just the little mint lollies and shit like that. You know, it was obviously a
Yeah,
fucking eye opener to what you were used to.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. And I didn't have any other kids there either, so it was just me at this point.
True, yeah. Would have made hell of a difference.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But after that, a few weeks I was there. They moved me to Rugby, sorry. So I was in Rugby, and I was sharing a house with this kid named David, and he had these big buck teeth, massive buck teeth.
Yep.
But he was a real psychotic schizo kid, and he was older than me. So he used to skits out, you know, he'd bash the workers, he'd smash the house up, all that shit. So that started making me, you know, start getting violent again.
Yeah.
I started seeing violence again. So I started being violent, and they used to restrain me, and like these new carers, they were cunts. They used to bash you, like they'd rib shot you, they'd strangle you, they'd fucking lock you in your room for days. They wouldn't buy you food, they'd do nothing for you. They were cunts. So after that, I'd been to about 5 different care houses. I've got a fucking long ass story, bro, like a long ass story. But so the last time was in New Norfolk.
Yeah.
And this is when I actually started really stealing and like proper stealing, like robbing shops
Proper
and
birds and
yeah, proper
How
burgs.
old are you?
So by this time I was about 10 years old, because that was when I come out of welfare.
Yep. Okay. Still haven't been into Ashley's yet?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. So I used to get all these community conferences. I'd get charged and stuff like that, and I'd go in like a little community into a conference, into a room with all these people with suits, and like they'd talk about my behaviours and things like that. And so they'd talk about my behaviours and what I'm going to do, and they'd write up charts of things I need to do and what I need to accomplish, and fucking all that shit. So that's why my life is documented. That's why I've got so many documents.
Yeah.
Like that in some of these documents, there's things in there saying, "Oh, Dylan."
Just quickly flip the camera around, bro, and show everybody your stack. I mean, you're not going to go through it, but just show the stack of fucking papers there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so that's
Unreal.
that's me life right there.
Yeah.
So some of these documents, they'd be like, Dylan had a good day today, but, carried on because he couldn't get ice cream, so he hit me with a fence paling. Shit like that. Or Dylan had a good day today. He was trying to kiss the coach and being a little bit rude, but other than that, he had a good day, Like stupid shit like that. That's the sort of shit that they documented.
Just documented to the T, like.
Yeah, to the T, 100%.
Yeah.
So I was in New Norfolk, and by this time I was sharing a house with 3 other kids, and I was probably the most naughtiest kid there. So I used to break into their bedrooms. I used to steal their money. I had this one carer. Some of these carers were actually really nice to me, but I was just a cunt to them, like a cunt to them. They wouldn't let me watch M-rated movies. They'd only let me watch PG movies and all that stuff. So, you know, I'd flip out and start smashing shit. So then they'd let me watch them. They wouldn't restrain me, these ones. But then I had this one carer. He was African American, and his name was CJ. I don't know if you ever heard of him or not.
I know him, bro. I know him, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to have a lot to do with
Big Willie.
Fuck. Yeah, Big Willie and the fucking Pulse and that in Glenorchy.
Yeah. So Big Willie, he was one of my carers too, and he's still a top bloke.
Fella,
He's a top bloke. Like, I got nothing but love for that bloke.
Yeah, cool.
But CJ, he was a fucking mean man.
True, yeah, right.
Like a mean man, bro. I'm not joking. Like, he used to pin me up against the wall by my throat. You know, and fucking.
He's gonna blow a lot of people out, bro.
Yeah, 100%. I reckon if he sees it, he's gonna blow out, and he's gonna remember. So the first time that he ever done it to me, I said something to him, but he thought that I called him a black nigger, but I never. Yeah. Like, I'm not racist. I'm not racist at all. I'm fucking half Aboriginal, you know.
Yeah.
I got nothing. Everyone bleeds the same at the end of the day.
100%, bro. I'm the exact same. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first ever time that he actually strangled me. You know, full strangled me, pinned me up against the wall, picked me up by my neck, held me like that, and was like, "What the fuck did you just say?" And I couldn't say nothing. You know, he had me by the neck.
Yeah.
And when he used to restrain me, man, he used to pull my arms right up around my back, all the way up past my head. And I'm surprised. I don't know how he didn't break my shoulders.
Yeah.
And like, wrap me feet up. Yeah, didn't break. I'm surprised that he didn't break anything. But anyway, can
I just say that spun me right out, bro? Because I can remember those guys clear as day, eh? And I thought that CJ. Yeah. I remember they'd have days at the skate park and shit, and I remember that. I thought that CJ was cool as, bro.
So did I, bro. Until
that spun me right out, bro.
He was quick to anger, like very quick to anger. I mean, I'm quick to anger. I'm 0 to 100 real quick, even to this day.
Yep.
But yeah, he was a very angry man. You'd see his fucking veins come out. That's for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Fucking spin out, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if he's still in that line of work.
I don't know. I haven't seen him for a long time.
No, all Big Willie, eh? Like.
No, I haven't seen Big Willie for ages either. I don't think Pulse is a thing anymore. I'm not sure.
No, but yeah. Anyway, bro, yeah, that's really rattled me to know that. What a dog.
Yeah.
Child is a bro. Like,
I mean, like I've seen him in the street now, like years back, and you know, said hello, whatever. Yep. But yeah, he fucking. Yeah, he done it. Yeah.
He shook you up as a kid, yeah.
Yeah, shook me up as a kid, yeah. And he used to work at the Bridgewater High School.
Yeah, okay, yep.
So he was my cousin's teacher.
Like,
but yeah, anyway, I was in New Norfolk at this point. So I was violent to him. You know, they were good to me, but I was violent to them. I'd sit up on the roof and I'd sleep up on the roof. I wouldn't come down for days. I'd run away for 3 days, and just like I was sleeping out the back of bakeries. They'd bring me, you know, leftover food out the back, cold as, because I didn't want to go back to welfare. I wanted to go home.
Yeah.
Like I've been in there for years. I wanted to go home. Yeah. You know, me and Mum were speaking and stuff. She snuck me a phone in on one of her visits once. Give me a phone, and I used to hide it.
Too, right? I feel like this is just my opinion too, but I feel like obviously we've spoken. You know my sister and a partner, and therefore well, their 3 kids, the youngest one wasn't, but their 3 kids went through the welfare system too. But they were forced into welfare because obviously my sister and her boyfriend went off the rails, ended up jail. They had no choice, but they were never ever. I mean, they were lucky. They had good families, and they ended up going to good carers and shit like that. But I feel like, this is my opinion, I feel like because you were put in there, you weren't taken from your family. You were put in there because you were a naughty kid.
Yeah.
That you're treated differently than kids that are just put in there for
for
definitely
being
like
I
which
wasn't taken.
yeah. So you're there to be taught a lesson. In other words, like
Basically like jail.
Yeah, that's fucked, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Really,
It
you're a
is
fucking.
100%.
Like I said, you're barely old enough to write your name.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
how the fuck are you? All you've seen is violence and fucking needles and this. Like, you've seen nothing else. You should be fucking. They should be, trying to train you in the good way, not fucking disciplining you for. You don't know what you're doing. Like.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Fuck, man. It
That's
really
what it
is.
felt like. It felt like
Yeah.
I had too many bosses.
Yep.
Too many people telling me what to do.
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't feel free. I felt locked. Yeah. Locked inside a house, inside my own world, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, fuck, from bottom of my heart, bro. I'm sorry that it's happened to you as a kid, but like, I believe everything obviously happens for a reason to, eventually transform you into a stronger person within. Like,
100%.
it clearly has, bro. Look at you now. You're most humblest fucking young bloke with a fucking huge future in front of you now. And you've got
for sure.
and you've got life lessons, bro. You're right from wrong now. Like, and you've seen the depth.
Teach my kids that, Yeah.
100%.
Oh, and also I didn't know my dad. I didn't know my dad till I was 16.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
the first time I met him, I was 10 years old, and that was when I was out of welfare.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Can I ask? I mean, you don't have to answer it, bro. But can I ask? Was your old boy? Was it sort of just a one night stand with your old lady, or was it like a fucking? Was he there for the?
So that's what I've been told. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And he didn't. He kept saying, he's not my kid. He's not my kid.
Yeah. Yeah. One of those situations. Yeah.
But now he looks at me and he's like, "Fuck, you look just like me."
Yeah.
But it's like we've never missed out on nothing. We've got a good relationship, me and my dad now.
Yeah. Funny you say that. Funny you bring your dad up, actually, man, because I was telling my old man that I was getting you on, and he knew who you were from, Spenion's episode and that, and he said, "I know his old man." So whether it's the same fella or not, but yeah.
Yeah, I reckon he would. Michael Edgecock, he goes under.
Sorry?
Michael Edgecock, he goes under. Now his name's Michael Latham, but he used to be Michael Edgecock. That's his real name.
Mick Latham. Okay, it was a different guy that Dad said, but I know Mick Latham, bro.
Yeah, right.
That's a yeah, fuck. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's talk, bro. I want to talk about, your introduction to actual prison or juvie, and some experiences in there. You mentioned before we started this podcast that you're going through the payout process of from actually youth detention centre and stuff, bro. Can you talk us through a bit of that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So the first ever time I went to Ashley's, I kind of have to start it from how I went there. Is that all right?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we've got all the time in the world, bro. No rush at all.
So when I got out of welfare, I was 10 years old, almost 11.
Yep.
How I got out of welfare, I ran away for 12 days. I was sleeping in a tent, and I was sleeping in a tent with this girl. And that was the first ever time I ever had sex. I was 10 years old.
Wow.
And this girl was about 12, 13. So I was sleeping in a tent with her. And as I said, I was sleeping out the back of bakeries. I was getting bread, they were bringing out leftovers. So I was gone for 5 days. About 7 days, sorry. Mum's ringing up, finding out where I am, whatever. Well, the cops ended up finding me. And they wouldn't let me go, so they held me at the park at that water fountain piece in New Norfolk, across the road from the police station.
Yep.
So they held me there. Well, somehow Mum got told that I'd been found. Well, the welfare officers actually took me back to the house, and I hadn't had a shower for about 7 days. So I've been in the same clothes for about 7 days.
Wow.
Hadn't had a shower. So I'm actually in the shower, and I can hear bang, 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 bang on the door and someone yelling. So I've walked out, wrapped the towel around me, walked out. I've looked down the corridor, and I've seen the carers actually looking at me going, don't open the door, don't open the door. And I've looked outside, bang, it's my mum standing outside the door. And she's like, open this door, Dylan. And I've opened up the door. She's like, you're coming with me. They can't fucking look after you. 7 days you've been out on the street. I've been worried sick. They stayed down there. They let Mum take me. So Mum took me home. Mum actually went to court, and they said that they didn't want me back. I'd done so much shit to them that they didn't want me back. I'd milk their cars and burn, because they had 2 cars, so I'd milk the car in front and I'd burn all the petrol on the lawn and I'd steal the car behind so they couldn't come follow me.
Yeah.
And I'd dump the cars in the river. I'd rob them. I'd assault them, all that shit. So they didn't want me back. They actually fucking got sick of me.
Yeah.
So when I got out, I was in primary school at this time. I'd go to school, but I'd never be in class. I'd have this lady that used to work with me every day. I was just cooking all day, every day.
Yep.
And she actually took a liking to me and gave me a motorbike. So she gave me a DS80, and that was the first ever motorbike I ever had. Yeah, her name was what was her name? Julia. I don't know, but anyway. So she's took me into the library, and so she's forgot something at the cooking room. So she's gone back, and before she's gone back, I seen her open up this cupboard and put this key in this spot. And when she opened up this cupboard, there was heaps of handbags in there. This is at Greenpoint Primary. So she's gone somewhere, and I've actually opened up this cupboard, took a heap of wallets out of these handbags, dashed them down my trousers, and I've ran out the door and hid them in the bush, come back, put the key back, shut the door. Well, she's walked back in. I was only young, like 10 years old. I spent like $2,000 on lollies at the shop at Woolworths on all my mates and myself,
Yep.
Then I think I was about, so that's when I really started stealing, doing burgs and like proper burgs. I started doing cat burgs, so I was cat burging while people were asleep. So I was actually breaking into their house while they were asleep and going up beside their beds and taking their handbags and stuff like that.
Yep.
And one night, I was 12 years old by this time. One night I went out and I had a curfew, so I wasn't allowed out after 9 o'clock. The cops used to check on me every night. And this one time, the cops checked on me. They never normally check on me twice. So they've checked on me, and I'm gone. My mate used to knock on the window at 4 o'clock every morning, and we'd go out cat burging. Well, I'm gone. Mate. I took my school bag with me. I got my school bag. I got my lunch packed. I've got all my school clothes in my school bag, and I've got all my black clothes on, ready to go out burging.
Yep.
So I've gone out burging. I've gone to school every day. I used to go to school with about $7,000 in my pocket every single day. I was a popular kid. people loved me.
Like
You know,
the hell I reckon, bro.
I had money,
Me
I was
too.
selling cigarettes, the women loved me, and I wasn't shy. You know, I'd run around, I'd slap them on the ass, and, you know,
Yeah.
I loved it.
Cheeky little
But,
prick. Like, yeah.
yeah, cheeky, yeah. And
Yeah.
they love me. But, so I've come home, and Mum's like, you know, the fucking cops checked on you last night. Where the fuck was ya? Fucking, you know, all that shit. And I'm like, what they say? And they're like, they want you to come over for an interview. And my mate had he's already on the run by this point. So I'm like, nah, I'm going then. I'm not going over there. So that was the first ever time I went on the run. So I wanted to be with him and be on the run.
Yep.
Well, I'd left Mum's house, and that was the day I didn't come back. Never come back.
Wow.
So I'd left Mum's house. I was on the run for about 18 months. No, it wouldn't have been 18 months. Because I first went to Ashley's when I was 12. So I must have been 11 at that point, actually.
Yep.
11. So I went to Ashley's when I was 12.
Yep.
So I was on the run from 11. I'm not sure how many months, but by the time I went to Ashley's, I was 12 years old. So I'd actually got done in a burglary, and they locked me up. And they're like, because all the burglaries had been done the exact same way. You know, pop plants at the door, windows popped, pop plants holding the door open and stuff like that. You know, they were all done the same way.
Burglar.
Yeah, so I'd actually got charged for 110 burglaries.
Fuck.
And like that wasn't even close to as the amount that I should have got charged with.
Okay, yeah, right. Wow.
That was what they could prove on me.
Yep.
So at this point, that was the first ever time I got locked up, like properly. You know, I went to the remand centre. I was in there for, 2 days, waiting to confront court. I wasn't scared because I had a mate that he's passed away now, but I reckon you would have heard of him, Chucky Jones.
Yeah, bro. Yep, I remember him.
Yeah, so he passed away in Ashley's, but I had him. He'd already been there, and he'd tell me stories. It's nothing, bruv. All this shit. It was a crazy little cunt.
Yeah, fucking
And I was like, yeah, right. So I wasn't scared. So I went into Ashley's. I was introduced to the system for the first time. So the Platinum car picked me up. We went from Hobart. They'd give me smokes on the way up. The people in the Platinum car give me smokes on the way up. I thought, oh yeah, this is all right. Got into Ashley's, and bang, big gates, massive gates. I thought, fuck, this is like the movies.
Yep.
The gates opened up. We've gone through. So through the first gate, that gate's closed. They've come through, ran the thing underneath the car, the mirror, all that stuff. Checked the boot. We've gone through another gate. Platinum cars pulled up. So there was 2 doors that you had to go through to actually get into the admission area. So when I walked through them 2 doors, they put me in this room, and it had a shower and a toilet, and that was the first room that you go in to. I didn't know at this point, but that's where you get strip searched.
Yeah, okay, yep.
So, yeah, I've been put into this room. They've come in, they've put some clothes on the ground. They're like, you need to take your clothes off. And I refused. I said, no, I'm not taking my clothes off. No way, I'm a kid. I didn't want to take my clothes off. There was 2 grown men there. And they're like, and also, they give me some cream. They're like, you've got to rub this on you because there's scabies going through the centre. And I was like, I'm not fucking rubbing no cream over my body, and I'm not fucking taking my clothes off. And they're like, well, yeah, it's either you do it, you do it for me, or we hold you down and do it for you.
Fuck.
And I'm like, well, fucking you can try because I'm not taking my clothes off. Well, these blokes actually held me down, ripped me clothes off with this fucking little knife that they had, cut me clothes off, held me down, fucking, They had this scabies cream didn't even wear gloves or nothing. Scabies cream all over their hands, right? And they're rubbing it all over me body, part of me ass cheeks. They're rubbing it down through me ass, all over me scrotum, everywhere, all over me genitals. That was the first time that I ever felt violated ever in my life. And I was pretty quiet for a few days.
I reckon, bro. Fucking hell.
Like,
You're a 12-year-old
days. Yeah. And then, I don't know, I'm one of them people, I got a real strong mindset. Like, even though I've been through all that shit as a child.
Yep.
Like, I'm still the same person as I always am.
Yep.
And I just thought, fucking look what you've already been through. Fucking, pull your head in. Don't let these cunts fucking run over you.
Yep.
So when I first went in there, there was 30-year-olds that were detained in there.
What?
30, 20-something-year-olds. Yeah, there was. Now as soon as you're 18, you get transported to jail. But back then, there was 30-year-olds in there.
They fucked, bro. We're already talking, what, fucking 16, 17 years ago?
Yeah.
Which ain't that long, bro, yeah.
Not long at all, no.
Fuck.
So they've changed it since all this payout stuff. Since everyone started getting a payout.
They're fucked now, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. So, so the first time I seen someone in there was when I was walking through the spine. So you go through Liffey, go through this little door, you're out in this cage, go through another door, and this unit's called Franklin. So you're walking through there, and this was where all the bad kids were. Like, that's where they held all the bad kids, the bigger kids, 30-year-olds, 20, 25-year-olds.
Yep.
And I had people walk, whistling out to me saying, fresh meat, all that shit.
Yep.
And I'm giving it back to them. Fucking full giving it back to them. They're like, oh, he's a fucking feisty little one, isn't he?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I got moved. So I got moved. I went to another unit, and Chucky was in there at this point. So I was actually going to share a room with Chucky, but because I said that I knew him, because they asked me if I knew him, and he mustn't have said that he didn't know me, he was just wanting to share a room with me. Because I said I knew him, they didn't put me in there. So they put me in there with the fucking biggest bloke. The biggest bloke that was in that centre. And he had another mate. And when I got in there, this cunt was actually giving Chucky shit. Like, full giving Chucky shit. And I was kind of blown out because, Chuck had always said to me, don't take no one's shit and all that. But
Yep.
the only reason he was letting this cunt give him shit is because the bloke that I was celled up with ran the yard. And he was good mates with him.
Yeah, right, gotcha.
So,
yep.
Yeah, so he didn't want this cunt to fucking, hurt him. But
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. I'm a new cunt. I don't give a fuck. No one's going to speak to my mate like shit. So I just attacked him. Just full attacked him. And I smashed him. I had the screws come running up from the bottom of Bronte. They fucking restrained me, smashed me on the ground, handcuffs, put me in a cell with this cunt. We'd come in, and he'd actually shook my hand. He's like, you got a bit of heart on you for a little fella, and he took me under his wing, bro.
Sounds like you've done the right thing, bro, Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first ever piece of violence in jail, and I got respect for it. And that's where it all started. That's like where it all started.
Yep.
So I used to assault officers all the time after that. Every time anyone gave me shit.
How long did you spend in there?
I spent about 13 months in there this time.
Yep. Fuck, that's a long time, bro, for a kid too, That's a big chunk of your life. Like,
Yeah. So that was when I first ever started working out. Started training, playing soccer. And when we was in there, there was females in there too.
Yeah, right.
So there was actual on the other side of the unit. There was females. We wasn't living in the same units block together. I was in the same block, but we wasn't living in the same unit. But during the day, we'd all mix with each other.
True.
So I started having sex with other inmates, other female inmates. You know, I was a good-looking kid, obviously.
Yeah.
But then I was actually settled up with this fella, and there was a couple of Ashley workers that were in there that you know, they were 25, 30 odd.
Yep.
And they used to actually, the bloke that I was settled up with, he'd already been with one of them before. So she used to get in there, she'd shut the blinds, she'd, you know, show us
female
some tits
workers.
and that. Yeah, the female worker, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right. Yep.
She'd get in there and show us her tits and shit like that. And so I started getting a bit confident, you know, I'm going to crack onto the female workers. And it worked.
True.
Like, it actually worked. So I'd rub up female Ashley workers, you know, and I'm 13 years old, 12 years old. And they're fucking 30 odd.
Wow.
And like, it wasn't a bad thing to me at that time, you know. But now that I think about it, it's fucking disgusting. But like, yeah, it wasn't a bad thing for me at that time.
Yeah, 100%. I know what you mean when you say, you know, it wasn't a bad thing to you, though. Like, you know, you're a 13-year-old kid, like, fucking go back and tell the boys, you know, like, that sort of feeling.
Yeah, 100%. And, like, in the end, I actually had him, you know, coming into my room. And I don't even know how a 30-year-old woman could have sex with a fucking 12-year-old anyway. You know, my fucking dick wasn't that big, bro. Like, how could you have sex with a 12-year-old?
Barely got pubes,
you know,
brother.
But I did, you know, I'd have sex with female officers.
Wow.
And then it became to, like, you know, female teachers that used to come in. You know, fucking, yeah, so
wow, bro, that's a fucking blowout.
There wasn't just one. And I wasn't the only person doing that.
Yeah.
You know, there was other inmates that were doing it as well.
Fucking old sluts, bro.
Yeah.
Legit.
So, yeah, I never ever got touched by a male officer in there. You know, I'd seen male officers fucking stare through the window of female inmates, but I'd never been touched by a male officer, but I had sex with female officers. There was this nurse that I used to go up there and she was fucking smoking hot nurse. Fucking never seen. She looked like Katy Perry, like Katy Perry in her prime.
Yep.
And I used to actually purposely go up there and, you know, show me. I'd say, "Is there anything wrong with this?" I knew there was nothing wrong with it, but you know, and then she'd fucking, you know, look at it and play with it, whatever. And yeah, so I didn't do anything with her, but one of my mates did get out and have a kid with her, and I was in there with him.
Yeah, wow.
Had a kid with her. Fucking. But yeah, so when I got out, I started stealing cars. You know, I was like in cop chases all the time. I hadn't been introduced to guns or anything like that yet, but I was just always stealing cars, cop chasing, doing burgs, making money.
It was such a big thing, bro. You know, around throughout my teenage years, anyway. You know, stealing cars, getting into places. Like it was just it was a cool thing to do. Like,
yeah, it was. Yeah. Nearly every person that I knew was doing that shit. And I can say one thing though. I'd never ever. I know it doesn't. You know, it doesn't. It's. How do I say it? I still shouldn't have stolen a car, but I'd never steal a car with a baby seat in it. You know,
Yeah.
I'd never ever steal a car with a baby seat in it because I know that, you know, they're going to need to go get something for their baby.
100%. And you know, although you were a little cunt and you were a thief and this and that, you still had those morals embedded in you. I guess, you know, like there's
And
no
I'd learned that over the years.
So.
Yeah, I'd learned that over the years, just not by, like some of my family was, you know, they were cooks, and even just people that I've been around, because I'd never ever hang around anyone my age. I was always with older people, you know, 20-year-olds, 17-year-olds.
Yep.
And they didn't do that kind of stuff, you know. That I'd learned something from different people.
Yep.
And like when I'd rob a house, I'd never ever go into a kid's bedroom and touch anything in the kid's bedroom. You know, if it was Christmas and I'd rob a house, I'd never steal the Christmas presents.
Yep.
You know, I'd unwrap them, but I'd never take anything that was for a kid.
Yep.
And that was one thing that I never done. Like I said, I still shouldn't have done it, but it is what it is.
You're not justifying it. Yeah, I know what you're saying, brother.
I'm not justifying it, yeah. So, but it is what it is, and obviously, like you said, I had to go through that shit to be able to get where I am now. But
100%.
Yeah, so I started stealing cars. I think by the age of 14, 15, that was when I started getting on the old school gear.
Yep.
And I started liking it, taking pingers and, you know, fucking all that shit. I started liking it. So, and I was pretty heavy on the dope at this point.
So what are we? Were you, 13, 14 years old?
Yeah, 14, 15.
Yep. You've done your big your first lagging in Ashley's. You're back out.
First lagging, yeah. So I was about 13 and a bit when 13, yeah, nearly 14 I would have been when I first got out.
Yep. And all it done was fucking breed more fucking bad into you, I guess. Like, you know, you've gotten straight into
bad.
Stealing cars and shit. Yep.
Yeah, because it wasn't bad. Because I wasn't afraid of going back. I liked it. You know.
Yep.
Got 3 meals a day. There was a pool, exercise, females. You know.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yep.
So So when I got out, I'd only been out for probably 2 to 3 weeks, and I was back in. So I think I was nearly 14. I'd actually got it would have been 13. Yeah, so I was 13. I'd got out. I was out for about 3 weeks. I'd done a burglary. And I'd actually stabbed. So the bloke when I was in this burglary, the bloke actually, I heard him running up the hallway. So I fell out this window, and I've landed on my back on the doorstep, and I've jumped up, and he hit me in the legs with a baseball bat, and I fell down the stairs. So I'm rolling down these stairs, and by this time I was carrying around scissors and knives and stuff like that because I was doing burgs, and just in case someone come out, I'd need to protect myself. So this bloke come out, and he hit me on the legs, and I'd fell down the stairs. I got back up, I ran back up the stairs, and I stabbed this bloke. And I stabbed him like 3 times. Well, I ended up getting done for this burglary. And the bloke actually was in ICU, like in intensive care for like about a week or 2 weeks. And this bloke actually died.
Wow.
Like, so
from the stabbing.
He actually died, yeah. So I went to Ashley's. I was on trial, all that shit. You know, his family came in. I wrote letters to his family. I know it doesn't help anything. You know, I've done what I've done.
Yeah.
But I used to dream about it all the time. I was on trial. So I got 6 years for this murder, or whatever I got charged with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
End
so
up
I got
being
6 years.
manslaughter or
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, because it was. I know I was in his house, but he'd assaulted me first, and
Yeah.
I was a kid, and I tried to protect myself.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got 6 years. But when you go to Ashley's, your sentence gets cut in half. So
I'm with you, yeah.
yeah, so it gets cut in half. So the first time I went to Ashley's, I done 13 months, but I got longer because it got cut in half. So I done 13 months.
Yeah.
I'm shit at maths, bro, so I don't know what
Yeah,
13
no, so
and fucking
you got 2.5. So you got
26 months.
26 months done 13. This time
Yeah,
you've gotten 6 years and what you did 3.
3 years.
Yep.
Yeah, so
That's
when I
pretty
got
much
out, I
a
was
team
16.
out the window.
Yeah, 100%. So when I got out, I was 16. By the time I got out, this is when ice was involved. That was the
Yep.
first time I got introduced to ice. And back then, they used to smoke it out of a light globe. There was no pipes.
Yep, I remember,
You know,
brother.
so everyone's light globes would go missing. Cars, everything.
Yeah, fucking everything. Little indicators and that were the best.
Indicators, 100%. But yeah, so I was introduced to the shard, and that was when guns and stuff started coming involved. So we wouldn't burg houses for PlayStations and TVs and any of that shit no more.
Yep.
We'd be burging houses for gun safes, money safes, all that shit.
Yep.
You know, and
Level
by
on
this
that,
point, yeah. So by this point, I was introduced to like all kinds of shit. I was introduced to fucking businesses, and I was climbing up on top of businesses and unscrewing their roof, and I'd jump down into their business after unscrewing their roof, and get into their safes and shit like that.
Yep.
So we were doing businesses. We do burgs and gun safes, and we get guns. We'd have heaps of guns, buried in the ground next to a neighbour's house, in their backyard, buried in their backyard, all that shit. And then we'd start warring with people. So they'd be shooting at our house. We'd be going and shooting at their house. We'd be driving up the highways and we'd be shooting at their cars or ramming them off the road, pit manoeuvring them and fucking flipping their cars, whatever.
Yep.
Fucking, that was when shit started really getting real. Shit started getting real.
Yeah. And you're on the gear at this stage, on the ice.
Yeah, yep. On the gear. Everyone's wigging on everyone.
Yeah. Everything levels up, doesn't it? When you start on that shit, bro. It's just what happens with drug, bro. Yeah,
it's fucking putrid.
Can I ask, bro, was you a needle user or just smoked it?
Nah, see, I think it's because I grew up around so many people that did needles and, they were left around. I've never used one in my life.
Yeah, wow,
ever.
Bro, that makes me proud of you, fucking oath.
Yeah, and even Mum, when I was younger, she's like, if you smoke dope, that's going to lead to pills. If you take pills, that's going to lead to gear. If you take gear, it's going to lead to needles.
Yeah, my old boy said.
Yeah, and I've always said, I'll never touch a needle, ever.
Yeah.
And I stuck to it. I'm shit scared of needles. I'll go get tattoos.
Yeah. It's a different needle,
I hate going to get a blood test, I fucking got to have my missus holding my hand.
Yeah.
Well, I get a blood test, bro.
Yeah,
I hate
100%. It. Yeah. And no, don't get me wrong, bro, fucking nothing against people that do that. I mean, it's putrid, smoking it, fucking whacking it, whatever. I took it to that next level, bro. I was fucking, the last 10 years I was on it, and on the needle. And, bro, if I can be completely honest, it's another level again, from smoking it. completely different
100%.
drug, like completely different high, completely different drug. You've been around it, you've seen people on it, you know, hey, like
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
I could be on the pipe for 3 days, and I'd be sweating my guts out. I'd have a fried brain, and then I could see someone that's on a needle, and they're perfectly fine.
yeah.
They're not,
Well,
they're
probably from the
not
outside,
wigging out as bad.
Yeah, true. Yeah, see, fuck, I disagree with that from my experience, bro. It was opposite. I'd
So I
have
don't
a
know what's going on in their mind.
yeah, true. I'd have a shot, bro, and instantly go into psychosis. Like even right up until, I think I'm about 8 or 9 months clean now from my last relapse.
Yeah.
And bro, literally the first time I did it again, oof, straight back into psychosis at the window, fucking, like.
Yeah, see, I'm the
And anyone
same.
who
I'm
does
like
this
that
nobody
now.
even knows them. Like,
Yeah. The last, see, I've been off it for about 12 months. And the reason why I've been off it is because, like you said, one toke, and I'm straight in psychosis. I've got paranoid schizophrenia from smoking so much dope.
yeah.
And anything that takes me out of my head, that puts me in psychosis straight away. I'm panicking.
Yeah.
And one thing I've never done though, I've never ever wigged out on anyone else ever.
Yeah.
I've always remained me, and I've never wigged out on anyone else. I wig out on myself. Anything anything that's different with my body, I start panicking. I fucking, even when I have a panic attack now, I don't even have to be on a drug. If I have a panic attack, it actually sends me into psychosis.
Yeah, wow.
It sends me into psychosis. That's how much the drug has fucked me.
Yeah.
Well, I was on it for 5 years straight.
Yeah, on the pipe.
Yeah, on the pipe, smoking the pipe for 5 years straight, all day, every day.
Yep.
In the end, I'd have a pipe and go to sleep.
Yeah, I know that feeling too, bro.
It was like smoking a bong.
Yeah.
And the amount of stuff that I have seen since I have been introduced to the pipe is fucking insane. It's definitely something that no human being should see.
Yeah, 100%.
That it's a different world.
Ever since that drug hit Tassie, bro, like I was 23, bro, when I first tried it, so you would have been 19, like like you said, you were 16 when you were introduced to it, bro. I hadn't even heard of it. Like I'd heard of it, yeah, but I didn't know of it being in Tassie until I was 23. So
Yeah.
it just goes like, and that was when the pipe was starting to get around, and and it was like, fuck, you can have a fucking puff on this, bro, and it gets you fucking
he's
high
out for days.
like the old school, and it's like smoking a fucking billy, like.
Yeah. You'd be
But
fucking beaming for days, I never used to get fried back then.
I don't know one
I never
cunt
used to panic on myself.
Yeah, and I don't know one cunt that's spiraled upwards from it, bro. No way. Every cunt just spirals down here and eventually loses everything,
100%. Start selling their shit.
Oh yeah,
They could have everything. I've seen, good people fucking go downhill. Mothers fucking lose their kids, all because a puff on the pipe. I've seen them have beautiful things in their house, bro, and just have nothing.
So, bro, yeah, I was one of them. I had everything, brother. Like I had an apprenticeship and fucking worked my ass off and had a family, a house, 2 kids, and then started on the pipe. Within 6 months, I lost everything. I had like fucking, this was in like, must have been like early 2010, 2012 ish, and like I had like a 2009 model fucking CRF 450. I had a boat. I had fucking a full drive, a R33 Skyline, this and that. Looked the good from the outside, but bro, within 6 months' time, I had nothing. Not even a fucking house or a family anymore. It's just
it's a putrid drug. It's one of the most putrid drugs that I've ever known of. To be honest.
That is, brother.
And like,
And, you know,
I didn't
unfortunately,
have nothing, bro.
No.
I didn't have nothing to lose. You know, I had nothing. I'd fucking tried to take my life a few times. I didn't know love. I still didn't know love or love anyone or care about anyone until I turned 18, until I had my first daughter.
Yeah.
That was the first ever time that I ever felt love in my life.
Yeah. And isn't it a beautiful love, bro?
It's a different love
It's an
than you'd
unexplainable love, bro.
ever
You know,
feel.
like I say that because I've got 2 elder daughters, bro. You know, they're 10 and 12, but I've also got a young 2-year-old as well to my new partner. Well, not new. I've been with her years now, but you know,
Yeah.
I'll be re-experiencing it all over again now. You know, like it's
Yeah.
beautiful, bro. Kids are everything.
Yeah.
Like,
So I've got a 2-year-old as well. I've got a 5-year-old. Her mum's actually in jail for murder. When I was in jail, she was involved in a murder up Devonport, and
yeah,
got my daughter taken off me from welfare, and I was just lucky to get her into her mum's sister's care.
yep,
And they've been nothing but fucking beautiful people, you know, raising her, teaching her, sending her to
yeah,
school, clothed her.
yeah.
But when
Good
I got
stuff.
out of jail, I was treated like a fucking prisoner. You know, I had to be supervised with my daughter. You know,
Yeah,
all that. And I never done nothing wrong to, you know, have them make me go through all that shit.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I was a good dad before I got locked up. I was changing her nappies and I was feeding her bottles, and while mummy was out partying.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I was treated like a prisoner.
Let's just rewind a little bit, bro. Obviously, we've been going for close to an hour and a half now, bro. But
Yeah.
I want to hear about your transition from Ashley's to jail. A little bit about your jail experience, bro, and then I want to get into flip it over and let's talk about your music and where you're going with that and everything.
Yep, no worries. So when I first went
So
to jail,
you got 6 years. You did 3 up there in Ashley's.
yeah, there was. So I wasn't out very long. So all up, I've done about 12 years from Ashley's
Wow.
to jail.
Yeah.
So that's all up. I've done about 12 years. Like, just because I've missed a lot of parts, obviously, because fucking I've got a massive story. I could sit here all night and just tell you shit.
Yeah, and we'll get you back on it at some stage, bro, too, and take off, and sort of go back
Yeah.
through and talk about parts in detail. But we'll basically get the main outline of your story in this one, and later on we can deep later on. I think because I think it needs we'll do a part 2 or something later on.
Yeah, that sounds good, bruv. Sounds good.
Yeah. But
Yes.
so you said you've done about 12 years. You're 28. You went in at 12. So that's 16 years, bro. So there was, 4 years, I guess, scattered throughout that 16 years. 4 years where you're out. Yeah?
And that's basically now.
True, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
so I've been out about 4 years.
Yeah. So
I was like,
talking through you,
I was locked up.
Yeah.
I was locked up like I was out. Some days I was out one day. Some days I was out 2 days. Some days I was out a week. But yeah, so when I first went to jail, I rang my auntie one day. I've been kicked out. I needed some shoes. Well, she couldn't give me no money. So I've gone to Paul's Warehouse. This is when Paul's Warehouse, you remember Paul's Warehouse?
Yep.
I've gone there and I've stolen a pair of shoes. And as I've gone to walk out, they've stopped me. They're like, no, you got shoes on your feet. We want the shoes back.
I was about to say, how easy did that used to be? And then you said you got done. Like,
yeah. I think it was because I already had a tattoo on my face. I already had one of these.
Dead giveaway.
And yeah, so they stopped me. They're like, no, we seen you take the shoes. I was like, bullshit, cunt. And they're like, no, we want the shoes back. Like, they were being pretty forceful. They wasn't going to let me go. And like I said, I've been carrying knives around. I've fucking carried a knife around as long as I can remember. Not now. I don't carry a knife now.
Yep.
Because fucking the shit that I have done when I've carried knives. But, yeah, so I had a knife, a big Bowie knife. And this bloke tried to stop me, so I pulled out this big knife. And before this, I'd already been done for something like this in Big W. I stole $50 worth of baby clothes.
Yep.
And fucking security guard stopped me. And I pulled out a knife and, like, told him to step back. And I'd only just stole this knife. And the security guard stepped back and they let us go. And then we ended up getting done. I got done for armed robbery. So when I pulled this knife out, I actually, so I'd already been done for it. So I knew it was going to be armed robbery straight away. After I pulled it out, I thought, fuck, this is armed robbery. I've stolen something, armed robbery. So I'm like, fuck it. I might as well make it an armed robbery. So I'm like, fucking bag up all the clothes in size small. I want all the fucking clothes. I want all the money out of the drawers, all that shit. They bagged up the clothes. They bagged up the money. They fucking let me walk out. Well, I wasn't thinking. I had my partner with me and her young daughter. And fucking this was the first time I ever done anything like that. Like, and wasn't thinking straight. I was on the pipe and shit like that as well.
Yeah.
So we've got out of there in this little Corolla I had. And we're going across, I'm coming through Lindisfarne. Oh, no, not Lindisfarne, sorry. Was it Lindisfarne? I don't know what that is out the back of Paul's warehouse, them little roads there. Like Newtown, sort of, basically.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
so
like
where
sort of,
high and all that is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got all them
But
streets
anyway,
out.
I'm going past this bin, and I've stopped and I threw the knife in the bin, and my partner's like, nah, you should have threw it over the bridge. And I was like, nah, fuck, it'll be right. Well, the bin that I threw it in was an empty bin. So I've got home. The next day, I've had armed robbery squad come run, kick in the door, and point laser lights at me head, at me missus' head, at her daughter's head. And they're like, get on the fucking ground. And I'm on the ground. They fucking they took me in. They're like, showed me a photo. They're like, is this you? And I said, nah, it's not me. And then, they're like, you're under arrest for armed robbery. And I said, fucking bullshit. Prove it. Because the photo was a bit blurry. You couldn't tell it was me.
Yeah.
And they're like, so they come back out with this bag and they put this knife on the desk and they're like, is this yours? And I've looked at it and I'm like, fuck, that's the knife. So so I threw it into an empty bin. The bloke's actually, gone to pull his willy bin back inside and heard something in the bottom of the bin. So he's seen it and he's rang the cops.
Bang.
And that was the first time I went to jail. So I was in there.
What did you get?
So I got 2 years, and I think I got 3 months remission.
Yeah, wow.
So that was the first ever time I went to jail. And by this time, me and a group of boys were having war with these other group of boys. And we were shooting each other. Fucking my mate got shot out of it. They sprayed his guts. Well, when I went to jail, there was another group in there that were mates with them. And one of them actually tried to get someone to pay someone to stab me. And I ended up finding out, someone come and told me, and they're like, oh, someone's trying to, get you stabbed. So I've gone and I've faced them. I've faced this group of people. And I'm like, fucking, I heard you're trying to get me stabbed. And they're like, no, fucking going around it. And I'm like, fucking, if you're going to do something, do it now. Like, don't do it behind me back. Like, fucking do it now. Well, they're like, no, they just completely fucking, didn't know nothing about it.
Yep.
Well, one day I was walking into the unit, and at this point, when I first went to jail, they only had these cameras that face one way. So they faced at the door.
Yep.
And there was blind spots all behind it. So I'm walking into this unit, and as I got to the blind spot, all I felt was like pressure, like bang, in the back of me back here, and then more pressure down the bottom, like near my spine, and it actually felt like it was on fire. Felt like I was on fire. So I've been stabbed. Yeah, I got stabbed twice. So I got stabbed in the shoulder up the top and in the middle of my spine, like in the middle of my back. And so when it's hit the middle of my back, it actually must have hit a nerve in the middle of my back, and I couldn't feel any of my legs.
Oh,
None of my legs. I thought I'm paralysed. Now I've dropped to the ground, I'm paralysed. Well, my mate's come in and he's actually carried me out and took me up to the fucking admissions.
Yep.
They've come and put me on a bed, and they've pushed me took me through. And
Yep.
I was lucky that so about half an hour, 45 minutes after I'd been stabbed, I started getting feeling back in my legs. Like it all started to come back.
Yep.
And I was fucking so relieved. I was like, fuck, I'm going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. But I was so relieved. So I was in hospital for about 3 weeks, probably a month. And
what did they stab you with?
With a sharpened up, so it was a melted down toothbrush.
Yeah, I've seen them, bro.
Like,
I used to have that young melted toothbrush with the fucking pencil sharpener blade in it.
Yeah, with the pencil sharpener blade, yeah.
Yep.
And if I could, I don't really want to move the camera, but I've got.
Yeah, just send us a photo through, bro. Send us a photo through, and I'll throw the photo in now.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll get me daughter to take it for me.
Yep.
But yeah, so I was in there for about 3 weeks to a month, and I couldn't have a shower. So they wouldn't let me have a shower, because if I had a shower, the water would actually, they reckon that it could go through my stitches into my lungs.
Yeah, wow.
So I couldn't have a shower. So anyway, I healed up. I come back to jail, and I found this bloke. Like, I found out who it was, found this bloke, and
so
I
you never
fucking got him back.
Did it? You were just stabbed and dropped, and that was it. He'd done a runner, like.
And that was it. Yeah, he done the runner. But then I'd found out who he was, and I fucking scoped this bloke out for weeks, just waiting for the right time. And all I was just carrying a pen around with me. That was all I had.
It's enough.
And that was enough. And I'm like, I'm going to get this cunt back. Well, I fucking got him back, didn't I? Got him in the fucking bathroom in a blind spot. I was like, oi, cunt. And he turned around, looked straight at me, and I went bang, and I didn't mean to get him where I got him, but the pen was full hanging out the corner of his eye, like hanging out the corner of his eye. And he's kind of screaming, running out the unit, fucking holding onto this pen. Well, anyway, no one got charged. He didn't give me up. I didn't give him up. He now wears a patch. And, it is what it is.
That is what it is. But, hey, revenge is revenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I can almost guarantee it would have been one of those pens off buy up too. Those expensive cunts, the real sharp fucking needlepoint ones. Yeah, I know, bro.
And art liner.
That's them, yeah. Fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
I got out. I've been out. I've been in a few times after that. Just burglaries and assaults and a couple of wounded.
You would have always had. You'd always you'd get out and something else would pop up from the past. Was that a thing? Like,
yeah,
always
sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what? That still happens to me now.
Yeah, I can imagine, bro.
It's still happening to me now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd been out, like I said, fuck all time on the outside, always back in. And every time I went back, it got longer. You know, the sentences got longer and longer.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this last time I went to jail. So not much really happened when I was in jail compared to Ashley's. There was a lot of fights. You know, I got respected for who I am. I never.
Once you've been in there for a bit too, I've figured too. Once you've been in there for a bit too, you get left alone, bro. You know, like in Risdon.
No one really cares.
No, and everyone's more grown up. Like, you do get your little fuckheads that get around thinking they're this and that, but you know, someone like yourself that's known to the jail. You know, Mearsy's back, or you know, someone like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You're instantly respected, at least by a good handful of cunts. You know,
100%.
Yeah, I get it, bro.
And now,
I get it.
I'm one of them cunts now that, like, if something happens in there, I have to be involved because
You're one of the boys.
Yeah, I'm one of the boys, you know. I have to be involved in, you know, if there's a riot, I've got to fucking join the riot.
Yeah, because if you don't...
a screw takes down me mate, I've got to fucking help him out.
Yeah. I've seen it all, brother. 100%. Yeah. And, you know, and the thing is, if you don't, then you're looked down upon as a bitch or, you know, like, what the fuck? Like, it's just jail, bro. You can agree, man, it's a scummy fucking cunt of a place to live. It's
100% it is.
You know.
And the screws, they're absolute fucking putrid. They don't give a fuck about you.
No.
You know, they won't even fucking get you a clean sheet. They won't even get you a fucking pair of socks. You know, they don't give a fuck if you don't have no money on your phone or anything like that. They don't care about nothing. All they care about is coming there and getting a fucking paycheck.
That's right, bro. And then you've got your fucking three stripers and that are fucking. And what are the ones with the three dots? They're
superintendent.
Yeah, you know, you got cunts like that really put their nose up at you, you know, and it's like,
yeah,
you know, like let's swap fucking shoes for a day and see how you fucking like it, cunt. Like,
yeah, exactly right, fucking right.
Yeah, I've seen it all, brother.
I've been in, like, I don't know if you have, but I've been in fucking. So most of my time, this time, I spent in Franklin because, like, I'm not. Look, I've had a lot of floggings in my life. I've gave a lot of floggings, so I'm not sugarcoating anything. I don't think I'm anything special. I'm no one, you know. I'm no different to anyone else.
You're a product of your environment, bro. That's what you are.
I've had my fair share of floggings, and I've also gave them out. But like most of my time, this time, was spent in Franklin because I have a fucking problem with authority. Like I hate being told what to do. So Supermax, solitary.
Yeah.
So I spent most of my time in there, and like fucking. It wasn't so bad this time because there was a bloke in there named Nathan Green. You heard of him?
Yep.
And he smashed the cells so much and gave them so much shit that he's now got TVs put in solitary cells.
Be fucked.
So if you're in there, you've got to spend 3 days in there with no TV, then you get your TV.
Yeah, right, yep.
So that's how it goes now. So I was like, fucking this is all right. You know, I don't mind going to Franklin now.
Yeah. You're the hardest of the hardest in there, though, eh? Like,
yeah, definitely. So this is when I was first introduced to music.
Yeah, that's where I was going to get, brother. Where did that start?
Yeah, so this wasn't in Franklin. It was in a unit next to Franklin called Tamar.
Yep.
This was after Franklin, but it's basically the same. You're out an hour a day, but you got a bigger yard, and you get more phone calls.
Yeah.
And you can get a job as well cleaning. But so there was a bloke in there. He's a good mate of mine. Him and his brother. I actually went to Ashley's with his brother. Spent a lot of time in Ashley's with his brother. But this bloke's name's Brandon Charlesworth, and
Yeah, I've heard of him.
he sang out to me one day, and he's like, Mearsy, do you want to hear a rap? And I was like, yeah, fucking oath I do. Like, fucking spit her out then, bruv. And he's like, started spitting this, rapping that, and it was fucking sick. Like,
Yeah.
this cunt could fucking rap.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Instantly inspired you?
Yeah, straight away. I was like, fuck, I wish I could do that. And he's like, it's easy, bruv. Just fucking, like, give it a go. And so I sat in there in my cell for a week, and I wrote this rap. It took me a whole week to write this one rap. I can't even get my words out.
Yep.
But to write this whole rap, bro. And I was like, fuck, I'm done, bro. I'm done. Like a week later, I said, you want to hear this rap? And he's like, fuck, I didn't think you was actually going to do it. And I was like, do you want to hear it or not? And he's like, yeah, all right. So I spat this rap. And when I finished, he's like, fuck, man. I shouldn't have even showed you how to do it. You can't. You're better than me. And that instantly gave me a confidence boost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah. And it was a lot of heartfelt shit. Can't exactly remember it. But, yeah, it was a lot of heartfelt shit. And ever since then, I just kept writing, bro. I was training every day. You know, I was out of my cell.
It was helping in time too, I guess. So,
yeah, I was just writing. Like, I'd never write letters. I'd just write songs. So, and every time I wrote a new bar, I'd sing out and I'd say, do you want to hear it again? I've wrote a new bar.
Yep.
You know, and fucking, I was proud. And I fucking started getting really good at it. And then when I got out of jail this time, I was straight back into the environment that I got out of. So I was straight back on the pipe. But I was still fucking around, you know, trying to find a beat and shit like that to actually start writing music too.
Yeah, and can I just say too, bro, I know this too because, you know, we don't really, a lot of shit's happened between us now. We don't really get along that like we used to anymore. But I was like, me and Monksy, bro, you know, Monksy.
Yeah.
Me and him were like brothers, man. Like, I was the one that pushed him to fucking pursue his dream, bro, because that cunt, still to this day, bro, he's got the record for the most amount of views in the shortest amount of time on THC. Right. You know, he's, you know, he on his own channel now, you know, he had his falling out with fucking THC and whatnot, but on his own channel, man, he's almost clicked 1 million views on one of his songs, you know.
That's hectic.
Yeah, I did some film work in that for his song All or None. I did all the drone shots and shit in that, and I'm actually in his film clip Froth as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but, you know, I pushed him to do that, bro, you know, and, yeah. But that's what I was going to say. Sorry, you said you got out and back on the pipe. I swear, man, you know, if there's anything at all that good that can come from that drug, it is sitting there making music, bro. Because I play lots of guitar, and I was a drummer in a band and shit, bro. So I'm pretty musical myself, you know. We would sit there, bro. We'd have a fucking, you know, big fat whack, and then sit there, and we'd just make music, bro. I'd play guitar and he'd rap over it. I've got like hours and hours of videos, you know, of us doing it. Like, I miss it, bro. I do. I miss him too, you know, but he just never got a grip on it, you know. He's fucking. But yeah, that's another story. But that's where I was getting at with that is.
I know what you're saying, bro. Like
one good thing with the pipe, bro, you can sit there and just.
He could have been very big.
Oh fuck yeah,
I mean,
bro.
he still can. He still can.
Yeah, you're very talented, brother. Fucking oath.
He still can.
But yeah, if there's anything
so I got on the pipe.
Anything good that comes from the drug, bros, you can focus on fucking making music, you know.
100%. So that's what like kind of fucking started me off, sort of thing. Like, I didn't know how to write to a beat, and I had this song written about my ex, the one that got my daughter taken off me while I was in jail.
Oh, yep.
And my mate Milo, CD, Corey Downey, he's a rapper also.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so he found a beat for me because I spat this rap to him. He found a beat for me, sent it through, and I rapped over the beat. And that was the first ever time I really actually rapped over a beat.
Felt
But
the
then I
music.
kind of lost a little bit interest in it, sort of thing.
Yeah, okay, yep.
And I was in amongst all the shit, staying at my cousin's house. She had fucking people walking out with fucking murder suits on, full forensic suits with shotguns and fucking whatever else.
Yeah.
So I was back in the shit again. And then one night I was staying at my other cousin's house, and we went to town. And as I got out of the car, so I was pretty big. I was a big boy when I got out. I was 97 kilos, for my height.
Yeah, that's big for
97
your
kilos.
height.
I had a big chest. I had
97
huge arms. Yeah, and I was massive, bruv. And I looked really healthy.
Yep.
And so I got out of the car in this taxi at town. And this is how I met my partner. So we actually split up a few weeks ago, but we're back together now. We're all good.
Yep.
We're all good now.
Good to hear, bro.
But yeah, this is how I met my partner. So I got out the taxi. She, come up to me because she knew me through one of my mate's partners. So she didn't know me. She'd seen a photo of me, so she kind of knew my face. So she come up to me, started talking to me and that, and we hit it off. And when I first seen her and she was talking to me, I thought she looked like one of these girls that, would walk straight past a person like me.
Yeah.
Not even acknowledge me.
Sounds like my situation too, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, in other words, you felt like she was too good for you.
Yeah, 100%. And it still blows me out now. But so I met her and ended up taking her home. Whatever. Fucking fried, been up for 10 days.
Yep.
Fucking went to sleep that night. Woke up, forgot all about her. Didn't even know because she was gone. Didn't even know there was a girl there until my uncle's like, "Oh, your woman's left," and I'm like, "What woman?" And he's like, "You brought a woman home last night." Well, anyway, I had her name written on my arm and a phone number.
Oh,
and
true,
I was like, "Fucking," her name's Anu, so it's not. I'll call her Anna, but her actual name's Anu, so because she's part Estonian, so AWNU, but I thought her name was Anne with a smiley face because she had a smiley face of the U.
Yeah, yep.
So I'm calling her Anne, whatever. Called her. We ended up, fucking back and forth from her house. We ended up getting with her. And she moved from her Norfolk house and we came down here and we were sleeping in the car. So this is where this kind of leading up to where my music took off.
Yep.
So we moved down here and we were sleeping in the car. We ended up getting a house. And so I'm living at this house. It was like everything just rolled into one. It was all meant to be. Yeah, so we moved into this house. Well, there was this bloke that lived around the corner, and one day I've walked over to his house, and he had some stuff out the front, and he was giving it away, throwing it out. And he came out the front, and I was talking to him, and I was smoking dope still by this time. And I was like, I don't know how the dope situation sort of come up in a conversation, but it did. And he's like, "I actually sell it." So I started buying buds off this bloke. And we became, we had a good friendship out of it. We got a good friendship out of me just coming over and buying buds off him. Yeah. And one day he was actually, I wrote a song before this. So we moved into this house and I'd actually found a beat and I wrote the song for my brothers.
Yep. I love it, bro. So, it's a sick song,
Yeah. So that's the song. That's the first ever song I wrote, and I was just posting it on Facebook, and then I wrote Hypocrites, and I was posting that all over Facebook, and people liked it and shit like that. And me mate's like, we got to get you out there. Like, that's a fucking good song, bro. Like, well, anyway, he took me to one of
It's exactly
Greeley's shows.
You, bro.
Hey?
I said that's exactly how I was with Munksy. Like, bro, you get out there, bro. Like you'll blow up. Sure enough, he did. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one day he's like, Greeley's having a show. Like, they're doing a show. And the car that we went in was actually customised by Greeley, so it had Greeley all over it. So we went in his car, rocked up at the show.
Mark's car, yeah. Yeah. It's got Dunners on one side, Greeley on the other, yeah.
And he's a fucking top bloke, Mark. He's fucking nice as.
He's great. Shout out, Mark, man. I get along wicked with him, brother.
Yeah,
shout out to Mark. Bro. He'll watch him.
Yeah, fucking, he's, and when I first met him, you know, I thought it was going to be this big, you know, hard fucking, don't get me wrong, he probably can be hard, but.
He talks to you like this, real soft, bro.
Real soft, bro, and I'm like, fuck, this sounds like really nice. Really nice.
Legend, man. Absolute gentleman, yeah.
But yeah, they took me to this show, and I actually met fucking Grace Chia, Hermit Kovacic. I can never say his last name properly. Lockie Hamill, and a few others. I already knew Greeley from years back.
Yeah, the THC crew, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first night I met them. And then, so I'd gone home and I've added them on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I seen that they were having a pop-up mic, open mic night.
Oh, yeah.
And my partner, and that's like, you should go. And I'm like, nah, no way, like, fuck that. And they're like, nah, you should go. So anyway, I ended up sending them the For My Brothers beat, Hypocrites, and I think there was another song that I wrote. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but so I sent them beats, and I knew my lyrics, but I didn't really know my lyrics that well. So I still took my phone anyway. But so I went up to this open mic night, bro, and first ever time I standed up on stage, I was fucking shitting bricks. Like, I felt like 8 Mile, you know. I felt like I was watching the movie 8 Mile, where he's fucking out in the bathroom, you know. Looking at
you said it, bro,
yeah, 100%. Well, anyway, they've called me name up. I've come up, and I wasn't like real good stage presence at this time. I didn't know what to say, or, you know, couldn't get out what I wanted to say. I got it in my head, but I couldn't get it out, bro. But anyway, the beat started, and I started doing my song, started doing my thing. Still, I was shitting bricks. The whole crowd was silent the whole time until I finished my set. As soon as I finished my set, everyone just went fucking crazy. They come up to me, they're shaking my hand, they're like, fuck, that was sick, rah, rah, rah. Even Lockie Hamill come up to me and he's like, I need to get you in the studio. And that just gave me a mad confidence boost, bro. And that was the first, I was in the studio probably a week later, and I recorded my first song, and the way it sounded, fuck, man. I listened to it for probably about 3 weeks straight, because I still couldn't believe that was me, you know?
Yeah, real, bro. How long after you recorded it did you do the film clip, bro? Because that's when I first came across you, was when that For My Brothers dropped on THC, because that's on THC Channel 8.
Yeah. So it was probably about...
And when it first dropped on there, when I first seen you, bro, and you looked familiar in that. I knew that I didn't know you, but you looked familiar in that, and like, you know, you've got that look about you, bro. You know, you've had a hard life. You know, you could tell you've done a bit of jail and that and whatnot. And I thought, and then listen to the song, bro. I was like, fucking goosebumps instantly. And like, 'cause I love me fucking hip hop, bro. I love it, you know. And
Yeah, same.
I was just like, this is unreal, you know. And then I think I seen you fucking pop up on like I said, on Spenion's thing and that, and was like, fuck. And then I was straight away, because I was just starting out season 2, bro, of this podcast. I'd already had about 5 guests or so lined up, and I was like, I'm going to reach out to him. Nah, not yet. I want to hear a bit more of his music first, you know. I didn't want to reach out to you and then you'd just be a shit cunt, you know what I mean? Like, and then I was like, fucking, I'll wait a little bit. And then I think I added you as a friend on Facebook, and then sort of fucking watched this. And then I've seen a bit more of your stuff and that through there. And then, yeah, here we are, brother.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to reach out to you too, bro, but I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't know if I was ready, you know, to get on.
Yeah, that's how I felt too, bro, if I can be completely honest. I could tell that you were I know you don't take offence to it, bro. I could tell you were a crooked cunt. Do you know what I mean? You've got that vibe about you. You know, you look like a bit of a rough sort of bloke and that. And I was like, I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to fucking, didn't want to, like, I wanted to make sure you were ready to, like. And I think we've waited, bro. I think this is we're doing this at the perfect fucking time too now. Like, you know, your music's going fucking fire, and punts are gonna
100%.
mould this podcast, bro. Like,
yeah. And I've also got a song dropping on Tuesday.
yeah,
and it's called Have You Ever? And this film clip, man, and the story to it is probably going to be the best film clip I've ever done at the moment.
Have you got the full film clip?
I don't. Young Baz does, because he does all my stuff.
Yeah, true. I actually become friends with him on Facebook today, bro. I might,
so
if it's all right with you,
he's a cool
hit him
man.
up, have a sneak peek.
Yeah, shout out Young Baz. He's fucking, I love that cunt. He fucking does everything for me.
Yeah, he seems like a good cunt, bro. Fucking oath.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, so.
Yeah, keep
it was
going.
about 6 months after I recorded the track that we done the film clip, because I didn't have, like, I had a family. I've still got a family, but I had a family. You know, how hard it is, you know, to fucking have money.
Yeah,
when
100%.
you got a family. You know, when you're going straight. Since I've been straight, I struggle. You know, I still struggle. But
same, bro. Same, week to week. Yeah.
yeah, paycheck to paycheck. It's a completely different life than what I'm used to, but fucking.
But it's better.
You know, patience come. You know, good things come to those who wait. You know, and I believe that sometime soon I'm gonna go somewhere.
Bro, I know it. I can see it 100%, you know. And I think that this podcast too, bro, is going to be, you're going to get huge, big opportunities branch off from this, bro. You know, I'm honoured to be the first one to, you know, have you tell your story for the first time. But I just already know.
That's kind of why I wanted to get on the podcast too, Tonks, because I know no matter what, I'm going to get hate. I know that just comes with this kind of shit. But I also want people to know that, you know, the life that I have lived, the things that I have had to do to get to where I am, to live, to be able to eat, you know, to have somewhere to sleep. And, you know, I don't want these kids growing up to be like that. They don't have to do that. There's people out there that, you know, can help. And I know it doesn't seem like it, but back then, you know, I didn't want help. I wanted to be a criminal. I wanted to be that person. But as I got older, you know, there's a lot of things in life that I can't do because of the person that I have been in the past. You know, it's hard for me to get a job. It's hard for me to be able to provide for my kids. You know,
it'll
because
be hard for you
not
to
many people
travel, everything, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, all that
You know,
shit. And that's why I wanted,
you'll struggle. You know, you'll struggle to ever try and get into different countries and shit, bro. Like, you know, with a criminal background like you've got, you know, which it's sad, bro. You know, like, but I guess what you're trying to say there too is that, you know, kids can fucking learn from your mistakes, bro. You know, and I believe
exactly
you've got
right.
a lot of young kids too, young little essays and that would love you. You know,
Yeah,
like you know they can learn by your music's raw and it's out there, bro. You know, but it's truth. You know, and it's facts and it's fucking you know,
exactly
kids
right.
can. Yeah, like look at like you said, bro. You know, you struggle to do things these days because of your past. Like, well, kids fucking learn from my
Yeah.
mistakes. You know,
And there's kids that are running around, you know, terrorising people in shopping centres and shit like that. Like,
I've seen that.
why? You know,
The big
why?
W
Why do you
fucking
do that?
incident and that I think. Yeah.
It's stupid, man. Like, as much as I was a cunt when I was a kid, I never done anything like that, you know. And
Yeah,
also, like, for these kids, just like a message for these kids, like, that are growing up, you know, fucking thinking that it's cool to be carrying guns and all that kind of shit. Just know that, like, one day, you know, you might have someone fucking put you in the boot of a car and take you up the bush, and you might not come back to your family. I've been in
100%,
that
bro.
situation, but I was just
Yeah,
lucky
so
enough
bro.
to come back
I
to
haven't
my
been the one
family,
in the
bro.
boot. I haven't been the one in the boot, but I've been in the car on the way up the bush, bro, and I know it happens. Fucking oath, you know.
100%.
But yeah, definitely, bro. Mearsy,
And
brother,
you
we're
might
gonna
have.
have to fucking. Yeah, sorry, bro. Go.
No, you're right. No, it's all good.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to wrap it up here shortly, brother. But there's a couple of little things I want to quickly get out there. Firstly,
Yep.
give us a shout out on your social medias. Where can people find you? What platforms are you on, etc.
So I'm on all platforms: SoundCloud, Apple Music. Yeah, so all platforms. So you search up Mearsy. You find me on the music platforms. My TikTok is I'm pretty sure it's Dylan Meares. I'm not sure, but I don't get on TikTok much.
I'll throw
What is it, bro?
all your little handles
Yeah,
up on
Dylan
here
Meares.
anyway.
Facebook,
Yeah,
Dylan Meares. Instagram, Mearsy, FTP1. And yeah, YouTube, Mearsy. Search up Mearsy and it'll come up.
awesome, bro. All the links will be in this description anyway, bro. So people will be able to just click straight from the description to any of your pages and stuff. But I guess,
Yeah,
bro, the
mate.
last thing I want to sort of hear from you, brother, and you know, go into a bit of detail, I guess, if you can. If say there's a bunch of young 8, 10, 12-year-old kids watching this right now, listening to this right now, bro, what is some hardcore advice that you can throw out there for kids that haven't entered the system yet but are looking like they're gonna, pretty much?
Um, Look, if you're scared to ask for help, or if you don't want to, I don't know, let down your mates or anything like that, you know, I don't know. Like I said, you don't want to grow up and be like me. As much as my
Yeah,
music might inspire you and things like that, you don't want to grow up and be like me. Like I said, it's hard to do anything in life as an adult. And yeah, if I could, I'd go back in time and change a lot of the shit, or most of the shit that I've done.
yeah,
And I know it's got me to where I am now, but still, I I could have I could have my own house,
Yeah.
I could be working a good paying job, but instead I can't get a job. I'm fucking working on a fishing boat,
Yeah.
you know, away from my family for 2 weeks. And that's probably about the only job that I'm able to get. Trust me, I've tried. But
Yeah.
yeah, my advice is, you know, get out of the shit while you can. Find someone that's going to help you, whether it's your parents, someone in the family. Go back to school, get an education, and fucking, yeah, get an
Yeah. Well said,
education
brother.
and just get out of the shit, you know, before you do die, because it's
Yeah.
not a joke.
Do you agree, bro? You know, especially talking about, you know, the gear, the ice and that these days, like it's just flooding the fucking world, bro. Do you agree that there's only fucking 2 ways that'll go, jail or dead?
100%. And that's
Yeah.
half the reason why I did get out of the shit that I got out of, because
Yeah.
I would have been in jail for the rest of my life, or I would have
Yeah.
been dead by now.
Yeah. Look, brother, it's been a fucking absolute honour having you on, bro. I can't wait to drop this one.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, man, all the links are in the description, guys. If you've watched this far, I'm sure you fucking would have, because it's been on the edge of this seat the whole time, brother, listening to your story. And it's, you know, as much as it's fucked, you know, as much as it's bad, it's a hell of a story, brother. And it's, you know,
Yeah.
it can definitely help young kids, brother, I think. And yeah, man,
I hope
like I
so.
said, been a fucking honour, brother. It's been, yeah, my absolute pleasure having you on. Guys, this is
Yeah, thanks very
episode
much.
13 with the brother Mearsy.
Appreciate it, brother. Much love.
Thank you, my bro.